I mean, no one can hear, so we shouldn't be able to, although that hasn't stopped them before. Peak is Monza. Can we really not get in here? I don't know. Thunderstorms nearby. About to lose power. Five rounds left in the season as we head to the Dutch Grand Prix, where we take on a fast and flowing track with tricky braking zones. I think tonight's going to be a fun one, and Jordan, he's always in the booth, but tonight he's doing both the track, the race, and he will also be in the booth. How you doing, J-Mac?
I'm doing great. This is going to be an interesting night. One of my favorite racetracks to drive around. Should be a lot of fun. The cars were really, really tight pre-race, really tough to turn. So, but they had a tendency to kind of break loose on you. A lot of push loose out of these cars. So, might see some single car incidents. Turn one, lap one's always going to be really difficult. But I think we could see some craziness amongst some of these battles with how interesting these cars are to drive around here.
For sure. And take us through some of the trouble spots that we might see. I know you talked about turn one and a couple other spots, but I know in practice you mentioned a little bit in sector 3.
Yeah, sector 3, the next to last corner, it comes out of a little kind of chicane, a hard right, then like a sweeping, or not really sweeping, but it's a tight left-hander that comes on a straightaway, and you come into this right-hander that's sort of a strange angle. It's really easy to overdrive, also really easy to underdrive. You have to get it right. If you go wide, you'll easily get a penalty, and if you don't get it right, then you'll lose a lot of speed, because from there on, the final turn is just a high bank right-hander that you're full throttle through, trying to get all the speed you can for the front straight. So if you don't get that corner right, it completely messes up not only the end of your lap, but then the beginning of your next one.
Yeah, and I would imagine that straight is going to be a nice passing point right there, especially, I don't see, do they have, yeah, they do have a DRS zone, so I'd imagine that's going to affect how you're going to be able to pass.
Absolutely, yeah, that's going to be your main passing place, and it's so long that, yes, if you're able to get DRS on somebody, you should be able to. And honestly, the rest of the track, if you are faster than somebody, then you have that opportunity to get away from them, as the second DRS zone is kind of short and not overly effective. There's going to be maybe a couple of passes there in the night at that location, but other than that, I think it's going to be really, really difficult to find your way around somebody anywhere other than that front straight.
Fair enough. Well, I'll let you get on out there if you're trying to qualify, but I appreciate the information, and I wish you good luck going into the race for sure.
Absolutely. I'll try not to make a complete bum of myself, but I guess if I do, then, I can hang out in here. And
go.
Talk to you.
All right, we already got Ferrari Nut on the board with a 110.5, and I see Sober David giving us a weather report. No rain expected. Thank you so much for that, David, and I wish you a ton of luck out there. And, geez, Moose, a flexor tendon injury, 3 to 4 month recovery. How in the world did you do that? Let us know. Yeah, there are 2 DRS zones. It looks like one is going to be in Sector 2 heading on in to Sector 3, and the other one is going to be at the end of Sector 3 heading into Sector 1. So that seems to be a rather long one, and I would imagine one of the best points to make a pass there. But let's go through the points right now. We have driver standings. Ferrari Nut in first with 180 points. Now, Z46 and Polish Hammer, they have not been able to show up the last couple of races. Therefore, they have really fallen in the standings, allowing Ferrari Nut to just drive away. Z46, he's in second with 144. Polish Hammer third with 122. Jacob X99 in fourth with 97. Scarface 3D with 82 points, sitting P5. P6 is Leaf Justin, who he has no power, so I don't even think we're going to see him tonight. He lost power about 20 minutes before the race. Gale Force, he's got 65 points, sitting P7. 8th is going to be Sober David. 9th is Mayor of Bag City, who I think only did 1 race this season. MJ Seals, 10th with 26 points. Dion 4Dub, 11th with 17. J-Mac Attack, 12th. And Bloomy Doll is 13th. Hokey Fan 14th. Coach Wombat is in 15th. And Drizzo is in 16th. So the points are pretty well spread out. I'm not sure that, man, they'd have to put a lot of work in and a lot of catastrophe to happen to Ferrari Nut in order for anyone to pass him at this point. But I like what I'm seeing with Gale Force and MJ. They were very close in practice, but man, Ferrari Nut already improving that time with a 109.9. Gale Force going to be next up with a 111.3. MJ Seals 111.5. And those are the only 3 times on the board. Maddie, I saw you earlier. Hope you're doing well. Mike, I see ya. How are ya? We're getting ready to get some storms here, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll tell you, this track seems pretty long. But apparently it is very fast at a 109. So kind of deceiving out there. I know it's very fast, very flowing, but we do have some kind of bigger braking points that we're going to have to watch. So some technical spots in here for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of what's fun about it is the multiple high banked corners, and a lot of them are deceptively fast. There's some high, you know, it's not an overly long track as far as length goes. It's one of your slower racetracks in that there aren't a lot of massive straightaways, but it's just a lot of fun to drive.
Fair enough. Yeah, it looks pretty flowing. It looks like it would be really fun to drive. Watching everyone's lines in here, just so fun to watch. And we're on board with Jordan right now, no pressure, as he is on his first timed lap out here. But you can see how flowing it is. A little bit of banking right here. Not much, but enough to get you around the corner. You can see him getting a little loose, and we'll see what he can do here as we're in Sector 2. Coming around, catching up to Sober David.
Oof.
I was moving stuff around, and one thing came to another. Got to be careful doing stuff like that. That was very vague, Moose. But I hope you heal up quick. No fun. A lot of 111s on the board. You know what I'm going to say about that. Very, very close times mean very, very close racing in race. And I love, love, love to see it.
Rip.
In the red, what happened, Jordan?
Went a little wide in the corner that I was talking about pre-race. That wasn't a very good lap anyway because I don't know, David kind of distracted me. He got out of the way good enough, but I didn't trust him to, so. I kind of went in, underdrove the corner. And I keep driving that wide lap there, even though that's not really the fastest way around on this game, but...
No, I'm sure it
I
helps
just
with
like
me
running
talking.
Nah, it's fine. That's why I'm here.
There you go.
I'm just sitting... I tend to run better always whenever I'm like mindlessly drawing on and not actually paying attention.
That's pretty wild, I gotta say. I would be the opposite everywhere. Gale Force out here currently sector 2. A little bit of caution as he is slowed up, allowing another driver to get around, and I do believe that's going to be J-Mac attack.
Oh, and got loose under braking. That's unfortunate.
So we have a 109.9, and the remainder of the times are going to be 1:11.0, 1, 3, and 5. So pretty much odd numbers except for that 0 out there. Dion usually does not go out for a time, but Sober David gets on the board with a 1:12.6. 2 drivers remain without a time, and I'm hoping we can get Justin out here. Hopefully his power comes back on soon, but Ferrari no change to his in the top 3 drivers out there in the pits. Scarface going to be second, Jacob third, Gale Force fourth. He is out on track. MJ Seals in the pits. Sober David also out on track heading into sector 2. See him making his way through the track, not trying to put too much heat in the tires and wear them out. Gale Force showing extremely strong in practice. We'll see what kind of lap he can put down next time around. He does improve it this time around. Okay, so we have 2 1:11.0s on the board. He's going to be third in time. It's going to move him up at least 1 spot. Jacob down to 4th. MJ Seals 5th. Sober David 6th. So these guys extremely close. Really, really cool to see. Sober David takes it down pit lane. The only driver out on track currently is going to be Gale Force. Driver in our Cup Series over on iRacing. He decided to come out here in the F1 Series and has done a phenomenal job. Joined late season, so he's currently standing in 7th. I'm kind of curious what he would be if he was racing the entire season. Let me know what you guys think about the track. If you like it, if you don't. According to J-Mac, this is one of his favorites.
It's a pretty nifty place to drive.
That's always a nice thing. All right, Gale Force bringing it down pit lane. We do have a driver coming out on track as he pulls in. That should be Scarface. There we go. Maddie, do you love this track? Man, I haven't raced it in a long time, but yeah, it does look really fun. I love those very flowy tracks. And just enough to make it interesting. And you can tell it's going to be very challenging, though, in some spots, which also keeps it interesting, keeps you on your toes. Three drivers now out. We're going to have Scarface, J-Mac attack, and it looks like Sober David. We'll see what these guys can do to improve their time. We have under 5 minutes left in qualifying to see if there's any change, but Ferrari Nut has not gone out since he's gotten that 109.9. Maddie, I'm hearing good things about 2025. Play it in reverse. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing there's, some things that need updated, but for the most part, I'm hearing it runs pretty well. Sober David going around into Sector 3. Come around the final couple of corners. A tricky corner that we've been told about by a couple of drivers. Down the straightaway, past the start-finish line. Here he goes on his fast lap here. We'll see if he can make any improvements within the time allotted. Really impressed with second, third, and fourth, though. Take a look at those times. So incredibly close. Two drivers almost tying in time. All right, coming around. Kind of feel like those are pretty similar. The way you enter those with second and third sector there. We go into the third sector. Around the final couple of corners. Are we going to get a fastest lap for David? We'll find out. I don't see any purple, though. A 1:11.7, he does improve it. Very nice. Scarface moving up to 1:10.5, so he has improved his lap time. Man, these drivers are just so incredibly close. Scarface on softs. We'll see what these other drivers are on. Everyone pretty much out on softs. MJ out on his out lap currently. 2/10 ahead of sober David. Can he improve his lap time? Just under 2 minutes left on the clock. I do believe we're going to have 36 laps here tonight at the Dutch Grand Prix. Really surprised Ferrari Nut has not gone out, though. He must be very happy with his time. Jacob X99, a 1:11.1. Very, very close. 1/10 off of Gale Force. Let's see what he can do. See him slowing it down right there, bringing out the caution. J-Mac Attack out and pits. MJ Seals 1:11.5, sitting P6 in the time. Just under a minute left on the clock, and once these guys go through, they'll be allowed to finish the lap that they are on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to touch that 109, even though Scarface did get pretty close.
He did. 6/10 off. Very, very close.
The shorter tracks, you'd expect the times to be a lot closer together than some of the bigger ones, but I mean, here we are. There's a pretty big gap between first and second, and a relatively sizable one between second and third, but then third through seventh separated only by 7/10.
Right. Absolutely. You know, but we talked about some of the corners that you really have to nail in order to get that momentum, and I feel like if you're not getting those exactly right, that's just going to cost you a lot of time. So even if it's a shorter track, I feel like there is some time to be lost.
Interesting place to attempt an overtake is down that winding straight. It's not a DRS zone, but it's coming out of the banked corner. I don't know what corner number it is. I always just call it Bristol because that's how it's designed like. But
right.
if you're able to get good momentum out of there, you can slipstream somebody, use some overtake, and if you're really brave, you can try a pass. I don't know if it is a widely accepted passing zone just because it's kind of narrow and it's
right.
winding back and forth, but and it's really fast. And if you screw up, you're probably going to kill yourself and somebody else. But I don't know. We'll see. That might be a place to do sneak attack somebody.
We'll have to keep our eye on it. I know Gale Force just went through there, but time is up. Here we go. Gale Force gets fourth. Ferrari not going to take home the pole here for tonight. Great job for Ferrari Nut 109.5. Scarface with a 110.5, sitting P2. Jacob X99 with a 110.6. Gale Force in fourth with a 110.8. J-Mac Attack in fifth with a 111.3. Very close. MJ Seals right there in sixth with a 111.365. Sober David seventh. And Dion 4 Dub sitting in eighth with no time on the board. Now we'll bring these drivers over to the race and do the formation lap. We'll get started for 36 laps.
I'm curious what the strategy is going to be here. Feels like another hard medium type of race, but I don't know. Maybe the softs are in play. We'll see what the game gods say about it.
For sure. You think we're going to see any safety cars?
Possibly. I mean, could very easily see something crazy. Oh, hey. Interesting.
Weather's very clouded here, but
It's
no
cloudy.
rain.
It's not showing. Yeah, it's not showing any rain, but it is cloudy.
Wonder how that's going to affect everyone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Maddie. How do you not know you injured yourself, Moose? Waiting for these drivers to put in their setups, get their strategy down. Then we'll get to the track. But yeah, definitely cloudy conditions. I wonder if that will help grip things up. I don't know. I know Jordan was not thrilled with how tight it was in practice. So we'll see what happens here on track. All right, if you guys have any predictions, you know, Ferrari has pretty much cleaned it up. We've talked about him through the season, a rough start to the season, but definitely cleaned things up. So I think it's going to be extremely difficult for drivers to try to compete with what he's going to have out here tonight. But if you have any predictions for the winner, second, third, you name it, you guys let me know. Here they go on their formation lap. That doesn't sound good.
I may have made a mistake trying to be different.
Well, we do have several drivers on the medium tires. We have a few on the soft tires, so it's split about half and half here. Very interesting. We'll see how it turns out.
Oh, that's good to hear, because it's all softs around me.
It is softs around you.
I was thinking I might have made a horrible mistake.
Our top two are on mediums. J-Mac Attack on the mediums, and also Dion 4 Dub on the mediums. The remainder of the field are going to be on the soft tires, so it's going to be interesting to see how that mixes as we go through the track, especially in the first couple laps here. And I don't know if you guys out in chat can hear the thunder, but man, it is very noisy here. All right, coming around the final corner, we're going to go on the straight and get these guys up to grid. Again, 36 laps here at the Dutch Grand Prix. A fun track, no doubt, and Ferrari not leaving a nice cloud behind him. No surprise there.
Oh yeah, purple pulling into my slot. Let's go. I'm the man. Please don't crash in turn one. Please don't crash in turn one.
I don't even see
crash in
Ferrari Nut in his seat. There we go. All right. Waiting for those lights to go out here at the Dutch Grand Prix, and we're already going here at the start. We're going to be heading into the first corner. Pretty much a U-turn as you see these guys going through 2 by 2 all the way through. These guys are extremely close. A cut down by Scarface as he is in second. Jacob X99 going side by side with Gale Force for P3. Very, very tight racing. Jacob and Gale Force just switching positions off and on. Jacob goes up to third, Gale Force to fourth. Gale Force, his teammate for RB, MJ Seals, P5, J Mac Attack 6, Sober David 7th, Dion 4 Dub 8th. Ferrari Nut has a 0.7 gap over Scarface 24, who was not feeling well tonight. You can see the strategy right here. Soft tires to medium, and it seems like that is going to be what these guys are definitely going to be doing tonight, either switching for one or the other. We haven't seen too much soft strategies for this season, so this is very interesting. Scarface under attack by 2 drivers, Jacob and Gale Force side by side directly behind him. Jacob gonna send it in. Gale Force has to take it wide. I do believe there was some contact on those tires, and now he was side by side with his teammate. Caution, it looks like trouble for Scarface. Not sure what happened, but he's got a damaged front wing here. Still ongoing. I know he's got to be frustrated. Not exactly sure what happened, but we're still moving. Jacob up to second, Gale Force third, MJ Seals fourth. We're going to have J Mac Attack fifth, Sober David sixth, Dion 4 Dub 7th, Scarface about 4.6 behind, sitting 8th. Not a great start for Scarface, and he was looking very, very strong. Ferrari Nut in the purple as he is in Sector 3, coming around the final couple of corners and headed into Lap 3. Caution, Sector 2, more trouble, and I do believe it's going to be Scarface struggling. Not being able to turn that machine with a damaged front wing. He's going to have to come in, I assume, this time around. Yeah, here it comes down to pit lane. Get that damage repaired. New wing. Meanwhile, Ferrari Nut, 3.5 second gap between him and Gale Force. You can see Gale Force. He's got quite the crew directly behind him. Jacob going to be putting the pressure on Gale Force. MJ Seals in fourth. Just a cloud of smoke behind him. Four cars in this pack racing currently. Any position could change, and this is going to be for P2 up here. And I say 4, but it looks like 5, so a lot of drivers in the mix here. Gary, you would have been great. We tried to get Gary to drive, guys. We tried. Got a pass here. Jacob takes over P2 from Gale Force. Gale Force gonna put the pressure on, try to get that position back. That was gonna be in the DRS zone that he was able to make that. Who's going super wide here?
That was
I want to say, I was about to say.
Pull it through there.
All right. I was about to say that looks like J-Mac.
Testing the iRacing line, and it didn't go well.
And take a look at this. Gale Force all over Jacob as he makes a mistake. They are now side by side. Heading into Sector 3, another DRS zone. Gale Force P2, but he's going to be under attack by MJ Seals as Jacob has fallen 2 spots. Do you see the storms, Moose? Yeah, it's just very loud. I don't think they're gonna do anything. It's just loud. Ferrari Nut, fastest lap 112.5. No surprise here. He has absolutely cleaned up his races, especially at the start, and there's just it's extremely difficult to catch him. He's already almost 6 seconds ahead of second, which is Gale Force, and these guys just always put on a heck of a show, battling back and forth. Gale Force in second, MJ for RB is going to be third, Jacob X99 in fourth, J-Mac Attack in fifth, Sober David sixth, Dion 4Dub seventh, and Scarface, he's got that damage repaired, but he is so far behind, so unfortunate. He's gonna have to get a safety car. See behind Gale Force as he sits P2. He does have those soft tires. Let's take a look, see where these guys stand with the soft tires compared to medium. Ferrari Nut in the medium, he is out there out front. Our next three drivers in the soft, and J-Mac Attack in the medium. Sober David, softs. Scarface, after he went in, took the hard tire compound, trying to go for the long run. Dion 4Dub, he's mediums. Maddie, it's crazy. I know, it rained today. A lot of today. No surprise here. Just take a look at these guys. So close. Race after race. I absolutely love it.
This
Jacob.
is definitely a different perspective of it, that's for sure.
Jacob all over MJ Seals. On board with J-Mac Attack, and you can see the battle that he sees right up ahead. Jacob keeps getting a little squirrely coming out of these corners, costing him a little bit of time. It's going to help out MJ to try to get away, catch up to his teammate. Jacob down very, very low. You know he's getting warnings from this. Take a look at the aerial view.
Ooh.
A little bit of time between Jacob and MJ, but J-Mac Attack is starting to catch up to Jacob. Might have a battle brewing. Gets it in the corner very, very nicely. Coming into the Bristol corner, I do believe. Sober David not too far behind, but J-Mac has his eyes set on Jacob up ahead. Jacob starting to catch back up to MJ Seal. So these guys starting to battle. And here comes Leaf Justin. I don't think he can join at this point. So unfortunate. Jacob putting the pressure on MJ. Will MJ be able to hold him off? Going through that DRS zone. Coming around this corner into Sector 3. Another tricky part that we've spoken to J-Mac Attack about, saying just an odd ankle as you're coming around here. Out onto the straight. Yeah, better late than never, although, I don't see him being able to get in, you know? Jacob really sends it in. Man, I thought they were going to make contact on that one. MJ just having a phenomenal run out here tonight. Looks like Jordan was taking that pretty wide on that last corner here.
I'm trying to make that work.
Sober David not too far behind. 3 cars right on top of each other. Take a look at this. Sober David trying to look for anything to capitalize on. Make his way up there, make some position gains. Ferrari Nut almost 10 seconds ahead. These guys have just been battling it out. Gale Force, though, he's managed to get away just a little bit, but man, his teammate right there, not too far along. Long line of cars as we head into the first corner. These guys side by side, J-Mac Attack and Jacob. J-Mac Attack takes over P4, Jacob in 5th. Strong start for Jacob, but he has lost a couple of spots. In fact, let me see, position change wise, he has lost 2 spots. Gale Force gained 2. MJ Seals has gained the most with 3. J-Mac Attack has gained 1 spot. Jacob down 2. Sober David up 1. Dion 4Dub gaining 1. And Scarface with the earlier incident, he has lost 6 spots. Gary, it might be a little late for that fella. That's a Dion call. I think it's a little late. Ferrari not almost 11 seconds ahead. We are on lap 10 of 36. Let's take a look through the field. MJ Seals looks like he is under attack side by side. I believe that was between MJ and J-Mac Attack, and now Jacob taking over that 4th position there. J-Mac gonna lose 2 spots as he was trying to battle for 3rd.
Yeah, I just overstepped that really bad. Felt like a dummy.
I'm sure he'll get back up there. Dion 4Dub about 21 seconds behind. Not exactly sure what has happened with him. Scarface 22 seconds behind after having to go in. Back up we go. Gale Force and that RB. He's got his teammate MJ Seals directly behind, so a great night. Another great night, I should say, for RB. Jacob, P4.
I don't know
Justin.
if any of the other drivers out here are experiencing it, but the braking zone after the final DRS zone, I am having some serious, like, rear brake lockup. Like, it is trying to spin out underneath me.
Really?
I don't know if that's anything anyone else is dealing with, but it is. That one braking zone has just been a little rough.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on a couple of drivers as they make their way through. I just love how flowing these corners are. I can imagine that would be a lot of fun out here.
Hey, you should have gotten out of here.
I don't know about that. I would have if Gary would have. How about that?
Oh, I see, Gary. You let us down. Man.
Feel like these guys are starting to spread out just a little bit. We got a nice battle between Jacob and J-Mac. These two about to go too wide as Jacob is under attack by J-Mac Attack. Justin, I saw you get online. I'm so sad. I mean, I'm happy you're online. I'm just sad you're missing it. Here we go. Jacob almost sending it in there to MJ Seals. Unable to get it done, though. Coming down the long, we're going to call it a long flowing straight. Makes no sense, but you know what I mean. Into Sector 2. Jacob trying to make his way back up to MJ Seals. He's alive and he'll live, so 2 good things. Oh, huge mistake by Jacob. Man, that's going to cost him a spot and a lot of time out here. 2 seconds back now from J-Mac Attack and a lost spot. So unfortunate. The night is young, though. Only lap 12 of 36. He can make it back up there, but just got a little bit more difficult. He is on the soft tire compound, so I'm kind of curious when these drivers will have to go in. It's going to stretch these drivers out, but here we go. J-Mac attack right behind MJ Seals. We'll see when he makes his way up to MJ. MJ in a sandwich between second and fourth. That was scary. He did a fantastic job of keeping it off the wall and keeping it from getting damaged. So huge kudos to Jacob out there.
Yeah, that's a tough save to make whenever you're getting on the brakes and you have a tire in the dirt and it legitimately just flings you. So yeah, that's an excellent save.
On board with MJ, taking a look out back as we see J-Mac attack just, as I said, putting the pressure on him. Exiting the DRS zone, contact! J-Mac attack goes around. Jacob gains back a spot. J-Mac trying to gather it back up. Sober David right there, and a car part of some sort is left on the track. Sober David looks like he is missing a portion of his front wing there.
Man.
Sober David goes in to get that repaired. I know, J-Mac, no.
That's not what we wanted to do, obviously.
Yeah.
That just overcooked it.
Jordan still has wing intact, which is a good thing.
That's some serious underbody damage, though, apparently.
Oh, that is not a good thing. Sober David comes on out with a repair to his wing, possibly more repairs. That is going to allow Gale Force and MJ get away from Jacob. Jacob kind of on his own little island, doesn't really have to worry about anything except driving his line and trying to make his way up to MJ Seals. 2-month ban. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Y'all are wild.
3-year probation.
Mm-hmm. Talking about chat, though.
Oh. Well, that too.
A pass. Gale Force in pits, taking his set of tires there, going to medium tire compound. Teammate MJ Seals for RB goes up to P2. Jacob, 4.3 behind MJ, going to be P3. J-Mac attack in fourth. Gale Force coming out of pits, going to be in P5.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Trouble for Jordan. He's like, would you hush up?
We're melting down at the moment right now, it would seem.
Damage to that front left wing, unfortunately. Gonna put him a little bit behind and might have to come in to repair that damage. Scarface gains a position over Sober David. Ferrari Nut, meanwhile, 20-second gap over P2. Absolutely incredible. This guy on a whole different planet. MJ a nice gap over Jacob, who both of these drivers on those soft tire compound. Ferrari Nut on the medium, so he might be able to take it just a little bit longer. Couple of incidents throughout the race, though, has definitely separated these drivers. J-Mac in to fix that damage. Get new tires, goes on the hard tire compound. We'll see if he can make it last the remainder of the race. Dion 4Dub moves up to P5 as Jordan comes out of the pits. Scarface taking up another position, moves up to P6 after an earlier incident. J-Mac 7th, Sober David 8th. Ferrari getting that curb on the inside. Doesn't seem to be slowing him up any. 10-second penalty for MJ Seals. Heartbroken. Speeding into pits, you can see him making his way on in. He's had such an amazing drive. So unfortunate to see. You can see him coming back out. A puncture? What kind of puncture are we talking about? Jacob coming out of pit lane.
The punctury kind.
Is that even a thing?
I think you can get a puncture.
A punctured tire?
Think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure how, but I think that's a thing in this game.
All right. Justin, if you want in the booth, you let me know. Or just come on in. Whatever floats your boat. I am heartbroken for MJ, though. He's had such good runs. 10-second penalty, absolutely, man.
And he survived me hitting him twice like a dummy, and had that happen to him.
He does have almost a 10-second gap between him and Jacob, but Jacob, I feel like Jacob is pretty strong. He's got 9.5 seconds before he hits MJ Seals, but RB just having a fantastic night out there. Come on, Justin, you know you wanna. Dion Ford Dub with the P5 right now. Let's go. Scarface trying to make up for earlier incident. Heartbroken for him, man. I'll tell you what, I was not expecting, some of the incidents that have happened tonight. 35-second gap. Ferrari Nut, almost 36-second gap. Has not gone in yet. Absolutely wild. Only two drivers.
That's a pretty big lead.
Yeah, that's a huge lead. Only two drivers have not gone in. It's going to be Ferrari Nut and Dion Ford Dub. See, Justin, everybody wants you to come on in. Ferrari Nut just having a Sunday drive out here, able to cook some dinner, enjoy it on the road.
Cook some eggs on the engine block, and
there you go. Gale Force having a phenomenal drive. Again, I would love to see if he was here the entire season. What would have come of it? Where would he be? MJ Seals with the 10-second time penalty sitting P3. Jacob has gained a couple of tenths, but man, oh man. That is enough. If the race ended right here, that is enough to put Jacob into third. Just really unfortunate to see. Dion Ford Dub, 24 seconds back, sitting P5. Scarface getting ready to catch up to Dion and possibly make a move for that 5th position. Wow, Moose. I see that. J-Mac attack, 2.8 back, but here we go. Scarface coming up on Dion Ford Dub. Have a look at this battle as this is for P5. Dion Ford Dub with that penalty, 3 seconds, and he gives that position up to Scarface. I don't know if he caught a little bit of curb and that is what made him give it up, or he just pulled over, but man, oh man. Oh. Are you guys giving each other lug nuts? So nice. Sharing is caring. Dion Ford Dub, 1 second back, 3-second time penalty so far. 2 penalties on the board is going to be from MJ Seals. Dion Ford Dub making his first and probably only pit stop of the night. Ferrari Nut also in pits right now, making his way on out. We're on lap 21 of 36, and I swear I just saw Ferrari Nut hit the wall on the way out, but that could just be the graphics. Still keeping that 35-second interval. Absolute insanity. Okay, now we're down to 20. All right, cut that gap in half right there. Gale Force 16.3 behind. RB teammate, okay, Justin has joined. Okay. MJ right behind. 6.2 back. I guess I shouldn't say right behind, but he's there sitting P3. Jacob X99 fourth, 10.4 behind. Scarface 27 seconds behind. J-Mac Attack right behind Scarface, 0.7 back, and looks like possibly in that DRS zone. Let's send an invite. We'll try to get Justin in here. He may ignore me. He's already... Oh, no, he's joined. Everyone, let's give a hand to Justin for joining. Justin, how are you?
I don't wanna.
You have your power back. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, J-Mac Attack.
Off,
He is...
intense storms kept you out of... Was that what kept you out of this race this evening?
We're not doing this.
We are totally doing this. All right, I saw that you're in here. J-Mac Attack, he is 0.6 behind. That's going to be our call. Oh, J-Mac loops it around. Sober David gets through.
Kept it off the wall, though. It was actually...
You did keep it off the wall. I'm very impressive. Oh, hello. Who was that?
That was Ferrari.
That's Ferrari Nut.
We almost made a complete butt of ourselves.
We're good.
Take them out, you won't.
Fine, everything's fine. Probably not getting that fastest lap. 111.9 on those soft tire compound. All right, Justin. These guys are going on the soft tire compound right now. Can they make it to 36?
I would assume.
All right.
What did Prix start on? Mediums, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Hard. A lot of people started on softs. And went
Some
mediums,
started on
and a few
softs,
people
went to... Yeah.
medium to softs.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, all the fast
Seems to
people
be.
are
Oh
mediums.
my god! And David just wrecked.
Oh. Oh, he looks fine to
I
me.
just saw him. No, he just lost it and slammed
Really?
the wall. Took out a bunch of signs, and there was stuff flying everywhere.
Let's check that front
He's
wing.
back at it.
He's missing the front right portion of his wing, so he's gonna have to go in once again to repair that damage.
I heard him in the other party say that when he went to pit, the game did the auto thing where it didn't fix his wing. So
Oh, okay. He does not come down pit lane. I'm kind of surprised here. Doesn't want to give up
Yeah,
those
it is.
spots.
They might have no wing to wreck anymore.
Oh, well, okay. Ferrari Nut fastest time 111 once again. 22 seconds behind is going to be Gale Force. MJ Seals 4 seconds behind. Jacob in fourth, 8 seconds behind, now 9. Scarface 30 seconds back. Super David 6. J-Mac Attack 7th, and Dion 4-dub in 8th. All right, take us through, Justin. How do you like this track? What would be your strategy going in?
I mean, I've usually like doing the backwards strategy, starting on the slower of whatever the 2 tires are, and then just trying to hold on until the pit stop. So
That would have worked for me if I had talent.
yeah, generally, I just try to get lucky and hold on to DRS or something if it's a track that's nice for that. I don't really know how this track is, because there's only really like one real DRS zone, I think, that you can really gain much on.
Yeah, they do have that long curve at first
Yeah,
around
run
sector
these
3
menus.
into the straight.
Details. Oh no. Oh, here we go.
Figure it out.
tires, 20. Okay, yeah, I see. This okay.
Mm-hmm. Gale Force and Team RB, just a phenomenal run for them. We might see him in the booth afterwards. Jacob 9 behind, but with that 10-second penalty, Jacob would take that spot. He has closed the gap by another 10th, and it keeps going back and forth. These guys are so incredibly even.
That kind of all happened at the same time. He sped apparently, and then Jacob had just said that he was experiencing something that he's never seen on this game yet in one of these races, and it was he got a wheel, like a tire puncture out of nowhere. So
yeah,
he
that's
drove
crazy.
around a half a lap or whatever on a flat tire and lost a decent chunk of time, I would imagine.
Wow.
And then right before I left, he said he took a quick stop at the baby, so he lost a couple more seconds there. So he's kind of fighting from behind a little bit.
Ferrari not fastest time. Once again, a 1:10. So in the purple, he is on those soft tire compounds. And you can tell as we just keep getting notifications of the fastest lap. And he's up to a 27-second gap over Gale Force. Pretty incredible there. 4.8 behind is going to be MJ Seals in third. Jacob. He's lost about 4/10 since we've last heard. So if MJ can keep that up, both of these drivers are on the medium tire compound. I want to take a look. When they went in, they both pit on the same lap. So very interesting. Scarface, oldest tires out there, 22 laps, but it is the hard tire compound. Kind of curious how that will affect him, though. Justin, you see any cool battles out there we need to have a look at? Any happenings?
I'm just kind of slowly scrolling and watching and trying to figure out these menus more. I don't know if I've ever looked at this. Let's see a little track map there I can turn on. I hope so, I guess.
Yeah, I use it every single race.
I was trying to see if there was a way to turn on being able to see how much actual like seconds and penalties they have.
You can go down to detail in the spectator menu and go over penalties.
I got it.
Yep.
There we go.
Here we go.
Every day.
Exactly.
Use the brain a little bit, and you can figure it out.
Hey, well, if it helps you, Gale Force and MJ needed an invite into the party. So what did I do? I sent him an invite to this party instead of the other party. So that was a thing.
Well, that's good.
I was just trying to help. Still only 2 penalties on the board, 10 seconds and 3 seconds. Dion Fordub making his way around, and it looks like that's going to be MJ Seals that just passed Dion Fordub. Take a look at that gap, though, Justin. MJ Seals, he is in front of Jacob by 8.6, so Jacob has really closed that gap down by about half a second there.
He's hovering inside the window that he needs to, as long as he doesn't take on a penalty of any sort. Be able to nab this podium spot.
Oh, God.
Oh, we got a caution. We got a car. Who's that? David spun around again?
I don't see anyone stopped. They're still moving, but
just momentarily
off track and didn't hit anything, but lost a lot of track position. And now he's behind me, which might be the scariest place on the racetrack.
Doesn't seem like he's
still missing that wing.
Fun time.
Yeah.
Or directly in front. Those are the two most dangerous places you can be.
Did he slam into you earlier, I saw?
No, I have done nothing but drive like a complete fool this entire race. And
I mean, like, I think when you spun once,
when I
and
spun,
he, like,
yes, he T-boned
he
me,
hit
and
you?
my
Yeah.
entire car lit up yellow.
Oh, good. Yeah, these guys have definitely spread out since we've had a few incidents out here, so no one's extremely close at the moment. The closest will be Sober David and J Mac Attack. Next up will be MJ Seals with his teammate with 5.2 seconds. Jacob, very consistent still with that gap. 9 seconds is still within that 10-second gap, so he would take that over if the race ended now, but we're coming up on lap 30 of 36, so this race is quickly winding down to the finish. All right, Justin, next week we're headed to Monza. Want to give us how you like Monza, what's about, what can we expect?
I mean, I would say Monza is fine. I think it kind of, at least a lot amongst this group, has kind of a I don't want to say boring, but like, you know, that kind of like feel about it. It's kind of, I don't know. It, I think just from like seeing it on so many different games, it kind of like, for me personally, just kind of like blends into the pile. But I think it can be a perfectly fine and fun race. A lot of heavy braking points and spots for some chaos. Obviously, turn one there historically can be kind of a mess.
All right, we'll have to see how it goes then. It's one of I'd say one of the more well-known tracks for those that may not tune in to F1.
It seems like it kind of has, like, it's on like both ends of that kind of spectrum of like either people really like it or people kind of like, you know, turn a nose up to it a little bit just because of what it is. But
all right, guys, let me know in chat. Are we going to see another Ferrari win? He corrected me last week. I'm pretty sure I said it correctly at first, and then I messed it up. But if he wins tonight, it's going to be 7 wins in the season. Pretty incredible. 4 wins in a row.
Spike strips down and take them out.
Yeah, where's a blue shell when you need it?
Gale Force just consistently having a great run out there tonight, holding on to P2. He's got his teammate 5.6 behind. Although he has that 10-second time penalty, Jacob is closing that gap. So he is well within that 10-second time range to take over that 3rd spot from RB. Scarface trying to recover. Currently P5, but 40 seconds behind Jacob. Unfortunately, I do not see him taking over that spot unless something happens to Jacob there. Jacob gonna win 100%. All right, we got it. Did I say Jacob? J-Mac gonna win 100%. I know how to read.
Oh my dear Lord, how in the world is that gonna happen? I'm a lap down.
Penalties, how does that work? David said. All right, so 10-second time penalty and 3-second time penalty. That will be added at the finish of the race. So you can see Jacob is 7.8. MJ Seals will be penalized at 10 seconds, so that's going to put him behind Jacob, pretty much finishing order. So that's how that works. Some of the penalties you can go into pit lane and get rid of those penalties. Some of them you cannot. Is the 10-second one, is that one that you can?
I want to say no, but I don't know that for certain.
I have the exact same answer.
What do you
I
mean?
know the 3s you cannot, and I think the 5s you can.
The 5s definitely can. The 3s can't. The 5s can, like speeding on pit road and whatnot.
So
what was his penalty for? Was this
speeding into pit lane?
Or
oh, I thought speeding.
That's a 10-second.
I think maybe that one can be.
That's
I know
what I thought.
the ones speeding under safety car, I'm pretty sure can be. Those are 5 seconds too, I think.
Oh, okay. Lap 33 of 36. Did I not answer your question, Frozen? He's asking how does it work. I thought I just answered that. I don't know.
Like penalties accrue whenever you do something bad, like breaking track limits so many times, like every 3 times someone goes over the track limits. They get 2 warnings and then a 3-second penalty that is added to your time at the end of the race. You get penalties for speeding on pit road, for hitting people, which I haven't gotten one, which is kind of surprising. You know, things like that.
David, so do you still keep your position or no? Right now he has his position. If at the finish he is not over 10 seconds ahead of Jacob, he will lose that position. So if the race ended, he's only 7.8 ahead of Jacob X99. So he will lose that spot and go to 4th. He's safe from Scarface. He's too far behind, so he will keep that 4th spot. Lap 34 of 36. Still have a couple laps to go here. We'll see what he can do, but Jacob is well within that range to take over that 3rd spot. Dion has a 3-second penalty, but he is the last driver out there, so obviously that will not affect him unless somebody else gets like some crazy penalties.
That's a 3-second penalty. That didn't matter because he's slow.
We love you, Dion. You're not slow.
He's so far in the past.
Oh my gosh. 35 of 36.
Flop a lie.
Oh, this is great. 43-second.
He's going to rewatch this and want to kill all of us.
He will. He's going to fire us all. 43-second gap between Ferrari Nut and Gale Force. Gale Force riding for RB out there. MJ Seals 5.9 seconds behind his teammate. Too far behind, I think, to catch Gale Force, just having too much of a consistent run, looking extremely solid out there. MJ having a consistent run, but speeding into pit lane cost him a penalty, and it is going to cost him a spot. But he has gained a couple of tenths over Jacob. He's still about a second and a half to the good to take over that spot, so we'll see. All right. I know this is going to be such a tough question, Justin. We're on the final lap here. Is Ferrari not going to bring it home, a 7-time winner this season?
I'm going to go out on the limb and assume that he is going to. I think some catastrophic failure, I think, is the only way to not
so if I park my car...
Who's behind him? That's Dion.
If Dion
or in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like Dion is the only one that's within being lap range. Which...
Here he comes. Ferrari not making his way up to Dion Ford up. Which Dion?
Do it, Dion. You know you want to.
No.
Oh, he's not going to.
You know better than that. Here we go. Ferrari not coming around the final couple of corners in Sector 3. Coming around the tricky part, as Jordan has said earlier, coming out to the straightaway. Here we go. He is a 7-time winner this season. Ferrari Nut takes over the win here at the Dutch Grand Prix. We're going to have Gale Force. Let's take a look. You can see on the map, he's still in Sector 2. That's how much of a difference we have. But Gale Force just having a phenomenal run. 4.9 ahead of his teammate in the RB, which currently sitting P4 in the constructor standings with 93 points. Third was going to be McLaren with 178 points, so a huge gap simply because they came in late. But Gale Force coming around. Final couple of corners, and he's going to head into the straight and take over that second spot. Let's go. MJ Seals, 9.5. Man, only 5 tenths. Jacob's going to have to do something to to mess up in order for MJ to keep that spot.
You got it close.
That is crazy. MJ, I do believe, is going to lose that spot. Yep, Jacob takes over third. So our top 3 drivers are going. Ferrari, Gale Force going to be driver of the day. He finishes P2.
Did I just say he was in a Ferrari? I don't think he's in a Ferrari.
Oh, I thought it said Ferrari nut, but there's so many Ferraris and whatnot.
It said Gale Force, but then it said he was in a Ferrari or had a Ferrari banner for some reason.
Y'all need to do me a
Maybe
favor
that's like his fan
and help me
thing.
invite.
I don't know.
Because I can only invite one person. I don't know why I don't ask. Very
Okay,
sad.
who was the top 5? It's
Okay. So
Yep,
Ferrari Nut, I got him.
I got
I need
Jacob.
Gale Force, and then I need Jacob. Oh, wait, I can
Okay.
do Gale Force by friend.
There you go.
There we go. My brain works sometimes.
You promised to not make me do an interview.
You're doing an interview, all right.
I'm not doing one.
What?
Boo.
I can't get Gale Force. Let's go.
See?
Nope, they're gonna be mean about it. All right, we'll try. There we go. We're gonna get him in. All right, we have Ferrari not out here, 7-time winner this season. Tonight at the Dutch Grand Prix, Ferrari Nut, take us through your race. How did it go? And how are you feeling?
Well, pretty good. I've just been, last few weeks just out here just thrashing the car to its very limit just for funsies. Why you saw me get almost multiple penalties last week. I'm just out there testing the limits at this point, really. But no, it was a good race. It was fun. Was a little concerned about that left front tire at the end. I was getting quite a bit of front wear on the left front, just pushing around all these fast left-hand corners, especially on the back half of the track. Those 2 consecutive, for me, they're basically flat right-handers. So that puts a lot of energy through the left front and really a lot of wear. So, but no, good race. Just was out there just doing my own thing.
Do you have a favorite part of the track that you enjoy?
Honestly, that section I'm talking about, that double right-hander after the fast right-hander, getting that right and getting it flat all the way until you have to get on the brakes for the slow right-hander at the end of it is so much fun around here. It's if you can nail that and just let the downshifting and the cornering slow the car enough and just feed it out to that curb that can skateboard you off into the wall if you're not careful, as Jacob found out during the race and probably a couple of others. Just getting that perfect is the most fun thing to do in a Formula One car, in my opinion.
Well, there you heard it from our winner, 7-time winner this season. You had a phenomenal run, and we've talked a couple of times about earlier in the season with incidents in the start of the race, but man, you have cleaned it up with some of it not even your fault, but just completely different racing going on at the starts here. And it's fun to see how fast you are, and just a huge congratulations.
Thank you very much. I think that puts me, getting close to 3 races points ahead now. If my math's right, so I think we're just about. I think we've got 4 or 5 weeks left. I think.
4 after this, yeah.
Yeah, so getting pretty close to having it stitched up and match the win total from last season. So we'll just we're gonna stat pad from here, effectively.
There you have it. All right, Jordan, I know you were racing, so I'm going to ask you, do you want to give an interview to Gale Force, or would you like me to? Okay.
I can do that. All right, we have Gale Force here, who had a nice race, came home P2, was able to get to the front of the DRS train that kind of formed, and then whenever it broke up because some doofus in a Mercedes had a much faster car than driver talent, you were able to hold it straight and come home second. Talk about your race.
It was pretty good. We got boxed in a little bit off early on. I think it was like lap 1 or 2, trying to get around Jacob and think it was Scarface. And then once we got to a lead, my teammate was able to get up behind me, and I just sort of would push and then like back it up a little bit towards the end of the lap to keep him in DRS, just so he'd be protected. And then as things went wrong behind us, it all sort of settled out where we would have had a double podium, but he just made a little mistake on pit entry, and so the rest of it was pretty calm from me, and I spent most of it watching the gap between him and Jacob just to see if he could hold on.
How was the driving out there? We've heard some guys talk about maybe some balance issues, a little tight, it was a little bit different. It's very right-hander heavy, but then you have one of your most important corners is that high back left-hander that leads into that kind of windy straight. So how was your car handling, and where did you think you were really good, and how much how do you feel about this racetrack, I guess would be my part B of that question.
It's a great track for like lapping. Racing gets a bit tough around it. The car felt fine. When I started in the practice session, the car was a little slidey, but I managed to make a couple changes that just settled it down, and pretty much the whole race the car was just comfortable. So no real issues on my end. Like the left side tires were getting a bit worn, but from what I was hearing, way better than a lot of the people around me.
Well, that is Gale Force. Had a nice, comfortable P2 finish. Back over to you, Frozen.
All right, rounding out the podium is going to be Jacob, and I am heartbroken for MJ. He had a great race, but man, what a comeback for you, Jacob. A very up and down race for you. Take us through what happened, a couple of incidents out there, and how you made it back up to P3.
I mean, it was fun to start out being in a battle with 3 other guys. I wasn't sure I was going to get away from them until we did pits. Then I made the mistake of getting caught on a curb, and that cost me like 4 or 5 seconds. So I thought, okay, this could be it, and they could DRS away. And then just later that lap would get right past J-Mac, and then I don't know what happened, but something happened for me to catch up to him, and then something else to separate him once again, which was a relief because when we got into the middle of the track, he was actually doing better at the slow speed turns. So I thought I wasn't sure if I was struggling or doing well. Like, I didn't know what to go off of. So the first real battle turned into Seals having a 10-second penalty. And I only had to step away for 1 lap and be paused. Other than that, I was just driving with nobody around, just making laps. So it actually was easy, but having that battle going on, like, gave something to fight for. So that was cool, but not very stressful.
I heard about a puncture. Take us through what happened with that.
Never seen it on this game, but I got to lap, it was 14 or 16, but it was the planned lap to pit from the start of the race. And I saw I got up to 63%, which is high, a few laps before that, but it just hit me out of nowhere. The game notified me like, oh, you got 100%. And
Oh, wow.
it cost me several seconds on track. So first time I've seen a tire actually go down, but it was a soft, and it was like almost midway in the race. So I can't say that's like too shocking.
Right.
But being able to overcome that's another 3 or
Hurdle,
4
yeah.
seconds that cost me.
For sure. Yeah. Like I said, up and down race, but man, you made your way back up, was able to capitalize on a penalty from MJ and take home that P3. Now, next week we're at Monza. So what do you feel about that?
Monza is, I mean, it's an easy track. It's a high speed one. If you can just hit the corners like you want to, like, I mean, making good laps is very doable. So we'll see. It's been fun to race. It's just a matter of not crashing. Who knows who you'll get to hang around.
Right. We see all those crazy close battles. It's always fun to watch, you guys. I feel like tonight we saw a few one-car incidents, so that definitely spread things out a little bit. But man, overall, a fantastic race for everybody and really, really fun to watch. So huge congratulations to Ferrari Nut on his win. Gale Force on his P2. Jacob on your podium. A really fun one. Next week, we are headed to Monza. It's going to be another fun track, and only a few more races after that, 4 left in the season. So we will see you guys next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I want to say I saw new chatter out there. Ringo Yote, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you have a question. But besides that, you guys are awesome. And these drivers appreciate everyone viewing in. So we will talk to you guys later. Take it easy, guys.